look like. We'll go with this one. Go home with Kaveh. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I haven't done this because I followed the other route before. So it's been a little bit since I've done this one. Gonna go home and hang out with Kaveh. Hello, Haithem. Knock knock. I like how it's Haithem's home.
Haithem isn't in, so feel free to sit wherever.
Okay, now I have to remember what I didn't say before. What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. I just didn't realize how much time had passed. I'm happy for her. I hope she'll be able to find happiness there.
Where?
She raised me all by herself after my father passed away. It definitely wasn't easy for her.
I love you.
Anyway, enough about that. Let's see what I packed into this box. What are all these things?
Look at that! Look how cute! That was his first drawing when he was 5 years old, Frenia. He's artiste. So talented. 5-year-old drew that.
Oh, I remember now. This is a drawing I made in Port Ormos. Obviously, I wouldn't call it anything special now, but I was less than 5 years old when I made this drawing. That's more than 20 years ago.
He's like 28, I think.
You could say it's pretty good for a child of that age.
I think that's what we've surmised, is that he's roughly 28 years old. And he's a year older than Haithem, I think? A year or two?
Now that I've said that out loud, I suppose I do have some level of artistic talent, right?
Be confident in yourself.
Criticism and self-doubt have always been a part of the artistic process. Without criticism, there can be no improvement. It's normal for me to question my abilities from time to time.
He's true.
I admit that I may have spent a little too long questioning myself this time around, but as you know, the heart tends to dwell on whatever it pleases.
Like Haithem.
Anyway, never mind. The more I talk about it, the less confident I feel. Let's see what else we have in the box. My building blocks.
Aww.
It's been years since I've last seen these.
So cute.
Oh, and this blueprint.
Okay,
I was
that's all
super
very
proud
cute.
of myself when I finished it. Unfortunately, my mother didn't realize that I had put
This
it
one's,
there.
like,
It was only
I
a
love
few
this
days
whole
later that
conversation.
he finally gathered up the courage to pay my mother a visit. My mother took me with her to personally apologize to the clients
Okay, this
several
is all
times.
we've seen before. Hi, bears.
She didn't scold me about it in private.
This is all very cute.
Let's see. Is there anything else left in this box?
Okay, here's his mom's journal.
What was the...
Okay,
this
is
my...
the same.
When I was a child,
this is the same.
What? If only I could... Hey, it's not a matter of time. It's... Who knows? Maybe this time something will click in my... I could tell what you were thinking. Don't worry. I tried all the easy guesses a long time ago. I've tried my name, my father's name. I've even tried stuff like Love You Kaveh, Take Care, and Yours Truly.
So cute.
I wouldn't try that route again.
Okay, so this is where it branches off. In the original one that I did of this particular route, I said asking old acquaintances. So this one, unfortunately, I think blocks us off of reading the diary. But if you have not seen that, definitely, I think I uploaded on YouTube and it's on the VOD channel. So if you want to look through my playthrough of it, you can see it there. But we are going to go a new route this time.
Yeah, you're right. Although I was hoping to find some words of wisdom from my mother, if I stop and think about it, her words may not be the advice that I need to hear right at this moment.
Aww.
Everyone's life journey is different. Traveler, you've visited many lands and met many people, so I'm sure you've run into situations where some advice wasn't exactly suitable for the situation at hand. I just got an idea though. If I want to rekindle the creative passion that I had before, instead of trying to unlock an old notebook, why don't I take a walk around the parts of town that have changed my life?
Learning about Kaveh.
What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
I'm glad you agree. Then let's start by taking a quick stroll around the academia.
Oh, I wonder if we'll see Haithem. All right, let's go. See you later. I am intrigued. The notebook was very cute. I enjoyed it very much. It was very sweet. It was basically all about the idea that, like, even artistic geniuses and people who like don't understand your vision, you know, like companionship is the real key to happiness and having people who care about you. And that was the ending that got you the picture with the Sumeru boys with Haithem and Saino and Hignai. It was very cute. And so, like, the whole reason that I'm hanging out with him at the moment is because he wants to rekindle his love of being an architect. And so he's trying to, like, remember what inspired him to do his job. He's going through burnout, which I understand completely. Let's see, what do we got here? Hello?
Of all the places in the academia, I remember this one most. When my studies got busy, I used to pull all-nighters here trying to finish my blueprints.
He's going through it, yeah. Man, Frenia, is he ever? He's not good. He is a sad boy.
Who doesn't miss their time at the academia? Life was a lot simpler then, and we all had far less troubles.
Truth.
I created many designs that I thought were beautiful in the House of Dana. I drew whatever came to mind, since I didn't have to care about budget constraints or turning them into reality.
Why did you draw? Well, why did you like to draw in the House of Dana?
If I had to give a reason, it'd probably be because I like the ambiance here. The academia also had a rule that allowed scholars to annotate any physical books they came across. As a result, the books here are chock full of scholars' wisdom across many generations.
Oh! I'll join you in a second, buddy. Oh no! Oh god. Why am I so slow? I physically can't move faster than this. Why are we walking so slow? I like that he turns around and waits for me. He's like, what? What's going on? I'm like, why am I? There we go. Oh god. So slow.
Oh, here, this is a great example. This book, History of Ancient Sumeru Architecture, contains some analysis that I did many years ago.
I can't read it.
Huh? Why is Haithem's handwriting also in here? When did he ever read this book? I guess it's probably from when we worked on that research project together.
Oh.
Anyway, he probably never cared to tell you this, but the House of Dana is where Haithem and I first met.
So
I
cute.
came here to do my homework and saw him sitting by himself next to that row of bookshelves. A group of Haravatat scholars were chatting near him, but he looked as if he was too lazy to join them. There was a pretty stark difference between him and all the rest of them.
Tell me more.
It was my fault for feeling bad for him. I thought he must have gotten into some kind of trouble and went over to ask if he needed anything, not realizing that...
Not realizing that you were in fact the one in a whole heap of trouble?
Where is he? I hate them. Aww.
Haithem? Why are you here?
I mean, he works here, Kaveh. Why are you here? You have a job to do elsewhere. This is his job, is to work here. Why would you not expect to see him? Also, he cares about you.
The House of Dana is a public space. Anyone can come here, no?
But shouldn't you be at the records room at this hour? You're not here to watch me make a fool of myself, are you?
No, it's because he
You
cares
think
about you.
I would derive amusement from watching you fall into depression over your life's various troubles? If that's the case, then I suppose I must have been entertaining myself for years.
Oh. I hate them. That hurts. Oh my goodness. This boy.
I came here to pick up a few files. If your voice hadn't managed to get through my soundproof earpieces, I probably wouldn't have noticed you.
He's lying. He saw him and was like, oh my god, Kaveh's here. I should go say hi. But the way I say hi is to flirt angrily.
All right. I admit I was probably overreacting just now.
I want to know what happened.
Probably not when he's right here with us. As his senior, I shouldn't try to tarnish his reputation.
There was nothing embarrassing or shameful about it. When I was still a student at the academia, I once collaborated with Kaveh on a research project. A collaboration is usually beneficial for all parties, but due to issues with our personalities, we ended up going our separate ways before completing the project.
Aww.
We had a number of differences, and they remain unresolved even today. But there's no point going into that right now.
Aww.
The more important question is, why are you at the House of Dana?
Kaveh's upset and he wants to figure out how to be happy.
As a senior scholar, isn't it my responsibility to offer my friend a quick tour and explanation of the academia's architecture?
I see. Then let me guess. Your next stop will be the pavilions around Razan Garden? Our famed architect sure loves showing off that corner to all his friends. Oh, and Kaveh, a lot of the books you annotated have been moved to the innermost section of that bookshelf over there. You'll have to dig them out yourself if you need to find them.
Huh? But why would you know that? Don't tell me you finally had an epiphany and realized that there's great virtue in respecting your elders' work.
Sure, if that will give you some self-confidence.
Oh.
Leave any words of thanks you may have to the ex-Grand Conservator. The last time he was here, he was complaining that he had received reports from current students. The main grievance being that the annotations are too long and difficult to read. As a result, the books you annotated have been moved to the back shelves.
Aww.
What? But all of my annotations were extremely important. Instead of reporting me, they should have been thanking me for my service. The notes that I took, they couldn't have asked for a better analysis of those books. Okay, just you wait. I'm going to fix this right now. I'll dig all the books out and return them to the proper shelves.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, we'll wait.
Waiting is about all we can do.
Anyway, you were about to say he's feeling a bit down?
Oh, are you gonna? Oh, he was put through the ringer recently by a particularly difficult client.
Put through the ringer. What an interesting phrase. I assume he used those exact words himself?
That's not, yeah, the client was pretty rough. He was basically like, can you do this over and then also this over? And I don't like how you did this, but can you do this and also make it cheaper and I'm not going to pay you? Kaveh was like, what? No.
He probably did suffer quite a bit, that's true. He always spends a lot of time editing his proposals, with the goal of satisfying as many of the client's preferences as possible. But the satisfaction of one client will not translate to general satisfaction with his work. Many problems in life can only be solved by a fundamental change of attitude. As the leading genius of Ksharawar, Kaveh should have both the right and the confidence to reject any unreasonable demands.
He's like, respect yourself. Kaveh, you talented, you beautiful. You deserve to respect yourself and your talents.
There are plenty of architects in Sumeru who are inferior to him in skill, yet far more irascible in temperament. What's more, there are plenty of people who look up to such individuals as paragons of staying true to one's principles.
So the problem is with Kaveh.
Clearly, his predicament is inevitable, since he holds other people's feelings as more important than his own.
I mean, he's probably an INFJ. He seems like an INFJ to me. As an INFJ, I understand. You feel all of the things. He's an empath and an INFJ, which is a horrible combination.
Of course, each person is different, and we should respect the paths that they have chosen for themselves.
I appreciate you.
Admonitions will serve no purpose. People tend to succumb to familiar pitfalls, and this is especially true for those who believe it's their duty to carry more burdens on their shoulders.
Aww.
Looks like you were having an enjoyable chat while I was gone. Were you talking about me by any chance?
No, never.
What do you think?
Ooh.
What else is there to talk about? Surely no one would be interested in talking about the files that you were browsing through earlier. Anyway, you should take a look at this. Look at this comment on page 82. Dear Kaveh, thank you so much for annotating this book in such detail. It was a great help to me.
No.
See that? Now that's how a student should treat their seniors.
Look at the heart.
And it looks like you're already in a much better mood now. It really doesn't take much to make you happy, huh?
Aww. That's so cute. Is that a smile? Zoom enhance. Is he smiling, or is that just... Do you see a smile, or is that just a normal mouth? That looks like a smile to me. Are my shipping lenses on too tight? I think I see a smile. But he a cutie. He knew exactly what to make Kaveh happy.
Me happy? I'm mocking that retired blockhead for being so full of himself. He understands nothing about the true beauty of architecture. When I can find some time, I'll have a serious talk with him about making sure these books are put where they belong.
Why don't you just move all the books yourself? It's not like he hasn't cursed you out before.
Ooh.
What was that nickname he gave you while you were in the academia? The Urchin of Kasharawar?
The urchin?
Kaveh had a habit of scribbling and writing in all kinds of books.
Hey! You didn't need to bring that up. At least not when I'm still standing here.
These two.
Oh, actually, I also found a really old sketch in one of the books over there. See? Doesn't it remind you of something?
An arch bridge? I don't know, maybe.
Huh? Don't tell me even you don't get it.
Don't ask me. This is the time you specifically put aside to brag about yourself. Feel free to hoard all the spotlight you want.
Oh my gosh.
You... In that case, allow me to explain. Although this sketch is a little abstract, you can plainly see from the road plans that this was an original concept for the expansion of Port Ormos.
Ooh.
We can also plainly see that the designer was a huge fan of this project. It's the project he loves to talk about the most, second to the Palace of Alcazarzare.
Oh.
If I don't keep bringing up the neat projects that I've done, how would anyone know that I was the one who did them in the first place?
I mean, he's valid.
There shouldn't be any complaints about Port Ormos. If I remember correctly, the construction process was very smooth. Everything was made ready ahead of time, and there were very few safety concerns.
There are indeed no records of any complaints about this project. A most impressive achievement.
He's just like fluffing him up to make him happy. I hate them. I can see right through you.
See? What did I tell you? Come on, let's take a stroll through Port Ormos next. I'll tell you all about the designs I made for the place.
Are you gonna come? I'll hate them. You can come. Let's all go on a little trip.
No need.
Aww.
It's almost time to clock out for the day, and I don't intend on bringing any unfinished work home.
Suit yourself. It's not like you know how to appreciate artistry anyway. Let's go, traveler. I'll take you to Port Ormos.
Yay. Bye, I'll hate them. Oh, where'd he go? Yoink. Oh. Almanac of Avidia Forest Avians. Oh. Books. Evolution of ancient literature. Graphical illustrations of ancient architecture. Oh. Oh. I guess that's Kaveh? I'm assuming that's Kaveh. He made the annotations. Yoink! Oh, how did I not get that? I thought I got all the books in here. How did I not got all that? Man, I for sure thought I stole all the books from here that I could. Oh, an ode to Kavrina. That must be a new one. Lore reportedly passed down within a lost religious group. Yeah. Because this was from the Padari, or the new little birdie things. Yeah, Reversar Amrita. Oh, new book. After Son of the Dead. If the dark tide reappears and the black abyss returns, sing this hymn and offer prayers. May the eternal Kavrina guide us in the upward path. Ha! Well, look at that. New books in the library. Are there more books I can steal? Oh, I thought there was one really up high. Okay, I think I've stolen all the books now. We can leave. Alright. Where am I going? Oh, Port Ormos, that's right. Oh, he made this bridge? Oh. It's beautiful, Kaveh. I love it.
Port Ormos.
Did you design one of the buildings?
No, I didn't design any one specific building. Most of my work here concerned structural renovation. Port Ormos had already existed since I was still a young child. It wasn't as large as it is now, though. It only came to its current size after a sizable expansion. I was part of that project.
Ooh.
The arch bridge over there, for example. That was one of my designs.
How'd you come up with the idea?
When I was first tasked with the project, I decided to reference the growth patterns of nearby trees to split Port Ormos into 2 levels. My goal was to improve the overall utilization of space. We ran into a lot of issues during construction, but thankfully, we were still able to achieve the original vision. Residents can now behold all the ships entering and leaving the harbor from the vantage point of the bridge, while visitors can recognize the site of Port Ormos from a long ways away. I was still young and new to the trade back then. I could hardly believe that an idea in my head could become reality and remain in the world for many years to come.
This is such a nice, like, allegory to pretty much any creation, you know? Something like when you're doing animations or when you're doing art, you know, creating, writing, anything like that. It's just interesting to see it become a reality. And again, like living and existing in the world for others to see or for you to look back on.
The true cornerstone of the creative process. The point about the design that will be ultimately used to judge its true worth. It was the first time that it became crystal clear in my mind. Once built, a building will continue to stand. Countless people will see it, and countless more will step inside it. Its final worth, whether it's good or bad, will be assessed by the countless generations of people that interact with the building during their lives.
I think it's pretty cool. I'm sure the residents, they really enjoy it.
You think so? I'm glad to hear that.
Yay, 2 hearts!
But even with this project, I still had one small regret. My budget was tight, and I was unable to use the higher quality timber I had originally intended for the design. I knew that some concessions on aesthetics would be needed as soon as I agreed to a proposal that prioritized the practical functions of the project. Us creative types know better than anyone that most projects cannot be completed without a few regrets. Even the Palace of Alcazarzaray was not perfect.
But having no regrets would also mean you had no higher hopes for the future, apparently.
Yeah, you're right. I should learn to look toward future opportunities and believe that any regrets I have can be overcome in time. We've spent long enough here. There's still one last place I want to go, but it's a little far.
Oh.
Would you be interested in a quick trip to the desert?
Well, sure. I got nothing better to do.
Great. Most of my projects over the last few years have had something to do with the desert, partially because there's a special place there that I often visit.
Oh.
This is a rare opportunity, so why don't you come along and see it for yourself? If you ever feel down, maybe you'll be able to go there and feel better too.
Aw. Are your foxes there? Probably not. Let's see. Oh, wow. Whoa. The Dune of Magma? I'm glad that I have been here before.
Who would have thought that so many primal constructs could have congregated here while I was gone? We won't be able to sit and talk peacefully with these guys around. Let's clear the area.
Yeah, I get to fight with Kaveh. Yeah, trial.
Rain outlines your fate.
Mind the side effects. A bitter pill to swallow.
Scanning.
Rain cutter, body and mouth.
Scatter! Remember, health comes first.
Come at me! Huh. Scanning!
You're so slow, Kaveh.
No, my sword. The doctor was stealing.
Come at me!
Nice, that was pretty good.
Feast your eyes!
Feast your eyes!
Rain outlines your fate.
He's trying hard. My little not damaged team. No
Isn't this
DPS
place
happens
great?
with this team.
I often come here to clear my mind when I'm dealing with a difficult situation. You know what I mean. Everyone finds themselves in frustrating situations once in a while. Just take me as an example. My family life got shaken up quite a bit when I was young. I struggled in school, and I got into a huge pile of
struggled
debt
in
building the
school?
Palace of Alcazarzaray. Although Haithem thinks that it's because of my personality that I continue to live in the shadow of the past, I think it's also just a part of life. Plus, if I look back, I've honestly had my fair share of good luck as well.
Oh,
You could probably say I followed in the path of my mother. Like her, I've gained a name for myself as an architect, built something that's seen as my magnum opus, and found many projects that others have entrusted to me to finish.
you also haven't completely lost your passion for life, which is good. I hope you don't ever lose that.
Life is too boring when you live with no enthusiasm and passion. Only those who believe in the inherent meaning of it can capture the small nuances of everyday life and turn them into inspiration for beautiful designs.
Oh.
Of course, I will concede that loving something also means taking it to heart. So to an extent, caring is also a source of pain. If I didn't love my work, I wouldn't be so torn up about it all the time.
No.
But still, isn't this place beautiful? Despite the erosion from the winds and changing seasons, you can still perceive its past beauty and glory.
Anthropology is fun.
With different landforms come different architectural styles. The desert's history has left it with few records regarding its buildings, so I often visit the desert to investigate things in person. The sight here has moved me ever since the first time I laid my eyes on it. I told myself that one day, I would also be able to create buildings that move others. My pain will one day fade into nothing, just as I reach the end of my life. But buildings are different.
He's this
They are
boy.
far more valuable than most materialistic things, and far more durable than human flesh. As long as there remain souls in the world who can decipher the meaning behind them, they will also have acknowledged me across the vast stream of time.
Oh.
If you were to ask me what art is, that would be my answer.
No, that's more like the Kaveh I know.
You think so? But I feel I've always been like this. Remember that question I brought up before? The one about whether I should see art as a divine gift of inspiration from the gods, or as a product of my own existential struggle. I still haven't found an answer to that yet. But if art wasn't inherently paradoxical and enigmatic, then people probably wouldn't be drawn to it. Those who pursue art will be unable to avoid the pain that it naturally brings. Will often be floating on cloud 9 one second, and sinking in a mire the next.
Too true.
I'll try gathering my thoughts again once I've found a way to define art in the first place. In any case, thank you so much for listening to everything I had to say.
Oh, so cute. Aww. Aww. My pain will one day fade into nothing, just as it, but aww. So pretty. Aww. Kaveh. Isn't there a fight here? Or no? I know I've explored like this whole region, so I don't have to explore it. He is very existential. Like, this poor boy has a lot going on. All right. So we have one more to do. That was cute. I appreciated the little Haithem nod. Okay. So the next one we're going to be doing is we're going to be headed to where we told him to talk with the guy. Oh, hello. Talk to the guy about fixing the design. And the one I originally told him to do... Oh, okay. I just have a nice triangle following me around. This is fine. The thing that I originally told him to do was to, like, convince him to take another look at it and be like, here, this is why the design should be this way. And I don't know what the option will be for this one. But it's cute, because in the original one, we were helping to... build a library for children in the desert. So that was really cute.
We meet again.
Huh? Why are you guys here?
Okay, this is the
That's
same.
what we wanted to ask you. There's no need for us to continue this project.
Believe me, I did. All right. There's no point hiding anything anymore.
Yeah, so
The
he
building
wants
I'm
to build a
trying to
library.
commission you.
A library? Funded entirely by yourself. I've heard that the academia will be looking to prioritize the desert with the allocation of educational resources.
You're right. The desert is too vast.
Where-
And what's more, I don't know if the academia. All I know is that as a desert dweller, we
Oh,
should not
I did
wait
want to
passively
point
for
out
good
that
things
Grandpa
to
got some
happen to
abs.
us. If we only did that, we'd never be
I
able
was
to
like,
stand
whoa,
up
he's
and hold our
old
heads
face,
high.
young
I
body.
don't have much longer left
Okay.
on this world, so I just want to use whatever time I have to contribute something to my homeland.
Okay, so this I don't think will change anything.
I didn't want you to know that I came from the desert. I've lived in the desert my entire life, and there wasn't anyone here that I could trust. I figured I needed as much safety as I could get.
To the point that you even disguised your identity? That's certainly taking playing it safe to the next level.
When I first came
He's
to,
talking about
someone
being
agreed to take on the
scammed,
project,
and he
and
wants
even took a
to
sum of Mora
do
from
the
me.
project for the
But
other
then after
desert
that,
dwellers who
I
aren't really
heard
given a
that there
chance to
are
learn.
a lot of untrustworthy people in this
And
business.
Kaveh is like, don't I know
Some
it?
would- I spent a while collecting information. By the way, how did you know I was scammed?
Just a hunch. A while ago, I
here's
accepted
the-
an offer to work on a project in the desert, and was also scammed out of a large sum of Mora.
So this is...
I ran into someone who was living in a pretty run-down house. I noticed a load-bearing wall on the verge of collapse, and suggested that I build a new house for him.
Poor
He said that he
boy.
had no way to pay for it, so I loaned him some of my own Mora, and told him to get some stone and timber from the local vendors. Soon after that, I found out that he had gone gambling with all the money, and lost everything,
Poor boy.
down to the last coin.
His heart is too kind for him.
And after that,
Okay,
he
this
even
is all
borrowed
the
Mora from me.
same.
According to him, I looked like an easy target because
Those kinds of things do happen every once in a while.
it's
Okay,
all
this is all the
ultimately
same.
neither of our experience. Yeah,
Bad
you'll find
people.
both anyway. I digress.
That's what I was afraid of initially.
Okay.
I've done the math and know that we. So, I decided to try and see if I can afford.
wants to still
By
build the-
cobbled together, you mean you're going to spend your entire life savings on this project?
To be
Where's the
honest,
diversion?
I haven't. All I want is to build this library before I leave this world.
He's a
a
good
while
man.
ago, I heard that the academia. I know the desert life, and so even if the academia.
Okay, this
Yes,
is the same.
I can imagine that.
So basically what ends up happening in this route, from what I've seen, is that Kaveh's like, okay, I'll help you, but we can probably talk with Dory and other merchants to fund it, like to get a sponsorship. So I wonder if it's going in the same direction.
My father passed away at an early age. I'm sure a child coming all the way from the desert will have an even harder time. But let's bring this back to the building. Building it according to the...
Okay,
Any ideas on what we can do?
okay, so at this point is when I offered merchants to sponsor it, and this other version seems like we're gonna still try to build it, but we're gonna be cutting corners, so we'll see.
A slightly different style. Give me a minute. Most architects would probably prioritize cutting costs and removing extra features in this situation. Indeed, converting the building into a simple bungalow would solve most of our problems. However, I do not think
a
this
library
would
in
be the
the
best
desert.
solution.
I don't think that would work.
While it's true that the aesthetic value of a building is often viewed as an afterthought, neglecting it has some long-term negative consequences. It is especially undesirable in this situation, as the library will serve a high number of children, many of whom would have never been exposed to structures that may be considered elegant or beautiful. To completely give up on the more aesthetic design would mean stripping the children of an opportunity to appreciate the
He's like,
beauty
I can't
of
have that.
architecture. I share Badawi's sentiments in wanting to preserve a more complex design. However, if we can reduce the ornate aspects of the design while maintaining its fundamental elegance, which is to say we won't touch the arches and stone pillars, but make changes elsewhere. This is definitely a first. To make up for the loss of regular details, we would need to put a lot of extra effort into the layout, lines, and color.
I see. Would that really be okay?
It just increases the difficulty of the design. You should feel lucky that out of all the architects in the city, you chose to approach me. Most of the others would have given up on this project by now.
Look at him patting his back.
As for inspiration, I think I might have something in mind, but I'd need to visit the site to make sure. Where do you want this place to be built? Tell me the exact location.
Aru Village. Although it wasn't my childhood home, I think it'll be the best site
That's
for
the
such a
same for the
building.
sponsorship, too.
Okay, then we can pay a visit to Aru Village.
Is there something I can do for you?
Oh.
I've already caused you a lot of trouble before, and now you're revising the design again because of me. Which draft are we even on now? It's making me feel terribly guilty.
Oh, this is sweet, though.
Let me think. You said you used to be an Eremite mercenary, right? In that case, you could help us clear out some monsters that are blocking the way to Aru
Oh,
Village.
is he gonna come with us?
We want to keep the roads clear and reduce the loss of materials during transport to a minimum. If everything goes well, that'll help us save some Mora.
All right, just leave it to me. If there's anything I'm good at, it's clearing out monsters.
Look at him go.
What are you waiting for then? Let's pack up and get ready to go.
Old man joins the party. Oh, yeah. All right. Where are we going? Okay. Obtained old man. Here's... Oh. Are there critters? I can beat them up.
Most materials going from Caravan Ribat to Aru Village would pass through here. There are a lot of monsters out here today. If you find it hard to keep up, just let us know.
It's clear
Oh, don't
here.
worry about
Aw.
me. This is nothing. I'll be careful, though, and you should do the same.
I appreciate that in Sumeru, you've got all these NPCs that help you fight. And they're actually not too bad. I mean, they're not the best, but at least they can't die. Old man, where's the old man? There he is! Look at him go!
Read you a verse.
Mind the side effects.
Sight clear.
Taking a turn for the better.
Ow.
Helpful.
Come at me.
The process of elimination.
Sight clear.
Bam!
Breaking new ground.
Oh, does he have the thing on him?
A bitter pill to swallow.
Scanning.
Oh, is it the trial Kaveh? Oh yeah, because that's not my sword. That's not my sword. That's a good claymore, though. I wanted to get that claymore for him.
Time to act.
Are you hurt, sir?
I'm fine. I've spent my entire life fighting these kinds of monsters in the desert, after all. They won't get the best of me. But it's one thing to fight against monsters, and another to fight against an old injury. It's something I picked up when I was young. There were many fights between mercenary brigades back then, and one day someone stabbed me in the back.
Literally.
I don't think much of it back then, but with age, it's caught up to me.
Do you see that treasure hoarder in the background just chilling? Sorry, I just noticed him. I'm like, what? Huh?
Few mercenaries get to enjoy their later years. Failing health tends to take the joy out of reputation and wealth. And many mercenaries never even made much of the latter to begin with.
Is there someone you know who can help to look after you?
Oh.
Unfortunately, no. My wife passed away at an early age, and I don't have any children.
Adopt him. Adopt him, Kaveh. He's your grandpa now.
Sometimes I'd close my eyes and realize most of my life story has already been written. I have many regrets about my past, but at the same time, I also know that there were never many options for me in the first place.
And that's why he wants to build
I
this
joined
library.
the Eremites when I was young, and won many battles with them. My survival was more a matter of luck than actual ability. If at all possible, I want future children of the desert to have some more options in life. I don't want them to turn out like me. My apologies.
He's a good voice. I like
The
this
older
voice
we
actor.
get, the more we tend to ramble.
He's got nice
Seems like we've
inflections.
already cleared out most of the monsters. Let's hurry over to Aru village.
I can carry you. I carry you, sir. Aw. What's on your mind?
I think it's really admirable of him to spend his whole life savings on people he's never met.
It's like, I do the
Maybe
same.
he's doing this out of natural kindness. A kindness
Aw.
that hasn't been eroded away by the struggles of his life.
You're also that kind of person. I don't know which one to say. Oh no, which one should I say? I feel like you're also that kind of person, which is why you're helping him. And or doesn't that also sound like, oh man, I kind of want to do doesn't that sound like you, Kaveh? I think that one would be the better one. I don't think, obviously there's no fork here. It's going to lead to similar responses, but...
Perhaps. To clarify, though, I don't think I'm quite the same. Some people call me an idealist. I do have some sentiments of that general persuasion, such as wanting everyone to be able to lead a happy life. But my situation is more complex than that. In the beginning, what drove me to harbor those thoughts was less idealism and more a desire to make up for a sense of guilt. When I was young, I impulsively encouraged my father to take part in the first Inter-Darshan Championship, hosted by the Academia.
There's been a lot of, I mean, I haven't noticed this in some of the other Hangouts, but I've noticed this one a lot. But there's a lot of words in the English one that are not present in the text, which is interesting.
He set off confidently hoping to win something for me, but failed to clinch the title. What's more, he fell into depression after the competition and requested to join an investigative research project in the desert.
I know we
I
investigated
never
it.
saw him again. Word has it that he got caught in quicksand. Even if other factors may have contributed to his death, the fundamental cause still circles back to me.
But it was his
I
decision,
started doing
Kobe.
many things in life because I wanted to make amends. Even in cases where I couldn't do something for a specific person, I still did whatever I could. I think I just wanted to make myself feel a little better.
I mean, it's valid to a point, Kaveh, but don't blame yourself.
At this point, even I don't know. I've tried self-reflection, but it didn't help. I can't seem to walk away from many things that I see or hear about, even if they don't directly concern me. And I can't quite pinpoint the source of it.
That's the empath in
Maybe
you.
it's just like what those Vahumana scholars often say. It's hard for people to truly understand themselves. I could be doing things out of endless guilt, or I could be doing them out of
Yeah.
a strong sense of empathy. It could even just be a matter of conceit. The potential motivations could number in the dozens, but the actions they result in are the same. Anyway, I suppose I don't really mind being called an idealist. They also use that term to describe my father.
Aww.
It seemed to carry fewer connotations back when he was around. I've known Haithem for many years now, and discussed my ideology with him for nearly as long. Maybe argued is a better word for it.
Aw.
He told me a long time ago that no matter how strong of a swimmer you may be, you'll still get dragged under by the others who are drowning once you run out of stamina. He believes this is the fate that awaits all idealists. I still believe I should live by my ideals, and I've given him countless reasons why I think it's a good idea to do so. Perhaps my ideals are flawed, but are there really any perfect things in this world?
Nope.
Unfortunately, he remains
you're
unconvinced. His personality is the exact opposite of my own. If someone happens to drown next to him, he'll most likely stand on the shore and mumble something along the lines of respecting other people's fates.
That's a little bit of a low blow, Kaveh, but I'll accept it. I also like how we can't go any of these hangouts without him mentioning him.
But as you can see, I'm not the only idealist in the world. Just as there are different seasons, there are also different people. There are many others who will continue to care about the fates of those who are not directly related to them. And when I finally run out of stamina, someone will also reach out and bring me back to shore.
Aww.
Someone will help me, right?
Aww.
Yes, I've already been helped like that before.
Should I have a life preserver at the ready? I'll help you when the time comes.
But you've helped me plenty already. If you didn't reach out to me, I would probably be passed out on the tavern table right now instead of talking with Badawi.
Oh.
Either way, I'm feeling much better than when you first found me at the tavern. I can feel inspiration already welling up inside of me. Maybe this will be just the opportunity I needed to create a whole new style. All right, let's head to Aru Village.
Oh, yeah. It's true. He does live rent-free in all of our lives. He's everywhere. I think I'm going backwards. Dunk. Oh, where in Aru Village are we going? Oh, God. Are we at the top? Yes, we are. Of course we are. Haithem hangs out here.
Now that we're
Sometimes.
here, it's my partner's time to shine. Marak!
We get to speak with... Yay! Oh my gosh. I'm so happy that we get Marak hangout. Forget Kaveh. Talk to the robot.
Oh, what's this?
He's a cutie.
My toolbox. I built it using an ancient mechanical core. It's not too smart, but it's super useful and can help me with a variety of tasks.
Marak's like, who you calling not smart?
I'll take Marak and find a suitable location for the building. Once that is done, I'll get to work on a few designs.
Traveler?
Oh.
Ah, you know each other?
Kind of. She helped to orchestrate a plan in which the entirety of Sumeru was like put into a trance-like state for an undetermined amount of time.
Hello. I suppose you must be Kaveh from Kasharawar. I have heard of you before. My name is Sataria, and I'm currently the person in charge of promoting educational assistance programs here in the desert.
Woohoo.
Educational assistance programs. Then you must be familiar with the local conditions here.
I can't say I'm too familiar just yet, but if you have any questions, I'll try my best to answer them.
I've been commissioned by Mr. Badawi to build a library in the desert. We've settled on the general design direction, but we are trying to finalize some details based on the conditions around the intended location.
A library? Do you intend to open it to the public for free?
I would assume.
That's right. I want to make sure the children will have books to read.
That's fantastic! I'm sure the children will be thrilled. Right now, we don't have access to many paper books or a quiet place to read. Truth be told, this very thing has been keeping me up at night.
Well, I'm glad we could be
Let me
here.
get straight to my questions then. Can you estimate the number of children around here who'd be interested in reading? Besides the usual noise of village pedestrians, are there any other sources of noise in the village? Oh, and have any landslides occurred here recently? And also, where are the spots around the village that have been most affected by wind
So many
and erosion?
questions. Convenient. I was thinking noises.
All right, that should be everything. Badawi, let's go over the budget again. We'll keep the building structure the same, but make the place a little bigger, so it'll be able to hold more people and get better natural light. The parts of the project that cost the most will be the insulation and ventilation materials. I'm sure you understand, no one likes to read in a place that's hot and stuffy. I want to make significant changes to the arrangement of the bookshelves, tables, and chairs. I'll go over the specifics of that shortly. I have 2 plans in mind. Both are pretty minimalist in style, but will provide a very different ambiance from the world outside. Our final cost should be around 70% of the last figure I quoted. The whole thing should take around half a year to complete.
Wow, that's fast.
Marak has produced a sketch for all of you to see. If everyone's okay with it, then we'll proceed with that as the formal plan.
You got a new design already?
The inspiration just came to me naturally. All I did was put thoughts to paper.
Ah, I wish.
I must give you credit, though. If it weren't for your advice and suggestions, I probably wouldn't have landed on this new style so quickly.
Oh.
According to the traditions of my profession, I should probably name this style after you.
Fox style?
Let's call it the Traveler style.
Fox style.
In the meantime, let's look forward to the day when this building is completed and can finally open its doors.
Oh. Cute. Present suffering is nothing compared to... Oh, what a lovely quote that is. Present suffering is nothing compared to granting hope for the future to others. What a lovely quote. That was cute. I enjoyed that. I wish there had been more Marak time, because he's a cutie and I want to know more about him. But I love him. Ugh. Alright, well that's all the Kaveh hangouts. You completed it. Bam. What a good boy. All endings reached.